Hey everyone, so we're gonna have this bit at the start of the video for a bit of plausible deniability for something that may or may not pan out. If it doesn't pan out, this bit won't exist, so don't mind it, but if it does pan out, I'm still going to put a normal intro after this bit, so ignore how I double booked myself there. That said, if everything goes to plan, Dilly here should have a piece of artwork on screen done by someone who I'll put the name of in the description because I forgot their name and I don't know it off the top of my head. But they did it as a favor to me, and I hope that eventually they will come to do the rest. For this first time, however, I will put it here at the start of the video, but for future occasions for the rest of my friends here, I'm going to sprinkle it at random points throughout the video. Call it viewer engagement, or viewer retention, probably one of the two. Alright, that said, let's go ahead and start with the actual intro. Hey everyone, if you saw that before, no, you didn't. Unless you saw the art, in which case you did. And if there was no art, don't worry about it. Maybe for the next video you'll see something special. If you didn't see it now. But anyway, hey everyone, so I am happy to say that the last video got over 100 views by the time I started recording this video, which is much faster than before and gives me a whole lot of hope for the future. We even clawed back a couple of subscribers, though I did lose one first, so we're at 226 instead of 227, but that's still an upward climb after that awful fall. So I'm going to say things are looking up. Also looking up, not me, because I'm going down. Time to mine some more, because apparently I have pickaxes, so I obviously intended to do this first. Gonna mine the entire layer, then I'm gonna take one of the other maps and explore it. That's gonna be the schedule for the day, and I'm keeping this intro shorter than the last one because 8 minutes, I do think the video worked well enough, and evidently enough of you agreed by watching it, but it really was a bit too much editing wise. I had to cut out a lot of other bits to make it fit. So, let's get started. I might actually do some fishing too if the rations run low enough. But that's for later. Let's get on with things now. Alright, just 7 left until the middle. And we'll just go ahead and use up the rest of this pickaxe's durability before heading out. Probably to go fishing though, instead of exploring right away, because I am running awful low. Alright, I got a sword, shield, my clock, my lodestone compass. Finally figured out what lodestones are for, and now I have one pointing straight towards home instead of spawn somewhere vaguely in that direction. Sword and shield, pretty sure I already mentioned that. Getting more food, but I do have food on me. This block shouldn't be here. My fishing rod, both for food now and in case I get peckish later. No reason not to bring it with me. The map that I'm gonna be exploring, the new map that I got last video. My boat, pretty essential for obvious reasons, and a bed. But for now, let's get fishing. I don't have a smoker here, but I do have my old campfire, which is still as good as the day I built it. You know, I keep wondering how I managed to fish books up out of the water. Only enchanted books, though. I wonder if the enchantedness acts like lamination or something. Punch 1. a bow right afterward. Power 3. Another fishing rod with mending. Nothing special, but I'll go ahead and fix it up. Oh. A mending bow. Alright. Let's see what's on this book. Knockback 2. Alright. Oh, another bow. Power 4, Punch 2, Unbreaking 3. Oh, what's special about this one? Luck of the Sea 3, Unbreaking 3. Not bad. It's basically my rod, but without mending. What? A stick? Like just a normal stick? I guess it's supposed to represent like a piece of driftwood or something. Oh? Power 4, Punch 2. Oh, what's this one for? Fire Protection 3. Eh. String? You can get string from fishing? Super rarely, but that actually makes things a bit more feasible. Huh. Luck of the Sea 3, Lure 3, Unbreaking 3. Now if only it had mending. Because this rod is actually better than my rod. I guess I could apply mending to it myself, but that'll have to wait until later. Alright. I'll go ahead and skip the night and then grab 2 more bundles because I forgot that for exploring I like to double up on those. But in the meantime, let's start cooking these things. Oh, also I figured out that you can actually put bundles inside each other. Honestly, this might be a terrible idea, but I was so intrigued that I decided to stick them all together, so we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, I think this map is straight north. I don't think I'm off the edge of this one. So if I go up north enough, I should come up just in that corner there. This pale forest should be familiar to most of you. Still, I remember it being fairly small, so we should be able to get through it without much issue. Glad to know it still rains in them. Huh, looks like I was here before. I wonder what I needed a crafting table here of all places for, though. Oh, hey, a village, I think. This house structure looks a bit different than most of the other ones I've seen, but yeah, this is definitely a village. And a free helmet and chestplate. Yeah, called it. I knew there was more of it. But wow, all the way up here compared to everything else down there. And there's the bell. Jeez. And I thought the village smeared across the mountain face was bad. Though at least most of the houses here actually have chests in them. Alright, I reckon I've looted the village for everything it had. Let's move on. Luckily, I don't think ocean monuments can spawn in cold biomes. Or at least I haven't seen one form under the ice yet. What's that over there? I'll have to check it out. Eh? Oh! Without me even noticing, I'm over a shipwreck. Glad I just happened to run into this. Would have been pretty darn impossible for it to find otherwise. But yep, that's the second edge of the map done. Let's move on to the third edge. And, at the same time, see if we can find our old treasure spot. Yeah, I was here. There's a crafting table to prove it. Alright, so ignore this map. Move on. Yeah, I've already looted this shipwreck too. See the crafting table? I'm glad I've decided, without truly deciding, that I would use crafting tables to mark what I consider significant locations. Anyway, moving on. Oh, hey, is that an igloo? No, there it is. Oh, and it looks like this one actually has a basement. Normal villager, zombie villager, cauldron, potion stand? Alright, we've been lucky so far. I haven't found any ocean monuments, but this is the southern edge, which is mostly ocean. So if one is gonna show up, it's gonna be here. And that is the Woodland Mansion. Alright, and that's all the borders cleared, and we haven't run into any new ocean monuments yet. I know I've been too lucky, and I'm probably gonna run into some while I'm filling out the inner edges, but still, we're good for now. Oh hey, ruined portal. Shipwreck time. Ooh, nice. Just as well that it led me here. I don't think I found this shipwreck before, though I do think I picked up that portal. Yeah, that should be the portal on the map there, actually. So let's check out this shipwreck first. Ooh, very nice. A mollusk trident drowned. I don't even see any structures around here. That thing just spawned for the love of the game, I guess. Huh. This is definitely a ruined portal, but I don't see any chests. Either I already harvested it, or, considering that the portal looks half buried, it got buried with it. Oh, another village. Well, these houses are a lot more stone focused than wood, so they should still have places to live in. Don't envy them for dodging the lava, though. Oh, that's this village looted. Huh? Is this an igloo? Yes, it is. Nothing hiding under this one. I really love the look of these blue chickens. Even if I do think they look a little goofy, too. Eh? Random azalea tree. Two random azalea trees. I wonder if these can just spawn anywhere. Like, I know a lush cave has to be... Is this a village? Very nice. Alright, wasn't much in that village, but still worth checking out, as all villages are. Moving on. Oh hey, ruined portal. There's that woodland mansion again. I guess it is decently close to Dark Oak Forest now that I'm on the other side of it. Still not exploring it though. Oh, nice shipwreck. Just rammed into the side of a cliff. Oh hey, I dug it up without even noticing. Oh hey, ruined portal. Nice. Alright, that's a map all clear. Still haven't found any deserts, nor have I found any rare biomes this time around. No pale gardens or cherry blossoms. But, more importantly, I haven't found a single ocean monument. So this map is officially safe from them, which is honestly worth it all on its own. That said, let's head back home. Time to get digging again. Huh. I don't think I've hit this shipwreck yet. I guess even following the whole map, you might still miss things like this if you just happen to come in on the wrong side of the mountain. Well, nothing for it. Let's get to breaking in. I don't think I've collected this treasure that I'm hovering over now, but the fact that it's so close to that buried treasure over there, and that shipwreck that led me to that buried treasure, I'm not sure what that says, but I feel like that says something. Alright, what's in it? Ah, domicile, sweet domicile. Let's get things sorted and put away. Alright, finally managed to get everything put away, but I am running a little bit low on birch logs, and I did check. I don't have any more hidden in any of the chests anywhere, so I'm gonna go ahead and take one of my spare axes and go chop some more. You know, it's high time I plugged this leak. And just like that, no more water to worry about. Alright, all set. Plenty of food, plenty of picks, plenty of spares, and a shovel that I built once upon a time to grab some treasure. That I might as well use to pick up any spare dirt or gravel down there. Let's get to it. We're gonna spend the rest of this recording session, and yes, see what I did there? I transitioned from one recording session to the next without even mentioning the exact moment of. That's what it means to be more free. Jeez. I remember when that was right next to me, practically speaking, and now it feels so far away. Just another sign of progress. Oh yeah, this is the cobblestone to that dungeon I found last video, alright? Okay, I'm so glad I caught that because otherwise that would have been troublesome to get. On the upper levels, at least, it should be perfectly safe, so there won't be any more need to block it off. In case you're wondering why I'm bridging these gaps one block under where I should be, it's because one, the upper layer of this ravine is now safe, and most of the ravine seems to be free of mobs at the moment from how much I've torched it up. And two, so that it's more obvious when I'm approaching a ravine, so I'm slightly less likely to mine a block, walk forward like a moron, and fall to my... I think I'm actually too low to truly die from the fall alone, but still, not great. Didn't think I would run into a different opening in the same ravine. Still, now that we're down here, we can see where we need to patch it up. And it looks like the answer is right along this line. Alright, and now we'll just pillar up with dirt. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks away from the center. Not much longer. And if any of you say that I over-recorded to get that done during this recording session, none of you can prove it. Keep that in mind. That sounds like proper rain. I hope it hit my lightning rod. Okay, good. I did manage to pick it up, but wow, what a trap. Because there's no way I'll be able to pick up most of this coal without it falling. I got lucky picking up this one. Shoot. Anyway, as I was about to say, oops. In case it wasn't clear by now, this video will follow the original intended schedule, which I decided to flip on its head last time purely by chance. Literally by chance, I flipped a coin for it. In which I did a little bit of mining, then some exploring, then mining again, and then this time around I'm gonna finish the video off with exploring. Unless I have time left over, in which case, guess what? A little more mining. Now that I think about it, let's add a little bit more to the plan. Once I get this all the way to the center here, I'm gonna do a little bit of construction. Exactly what I'll build, not sure. But it'll be a nice waste of a day. Maybe I'll level out some of the ground around this place and torch it up so that monsters are less likely to spawn here. And by monsters, I mean Endermen. I know I originally wanted the ground around to be relatively pristine, but... well, let's just say there's a reason why I want to discourage Endermen more than I do before. Gosh, that's a big gap. See, there's the problem. The former problem, anyway. This dirt patch here is another example of a rule I've decided to bend. Or in this case, abolish entirely. It used to be that I had the rule, back when I was doing this layer by layer, that I would completely excavate any dirt patches inside the structure because it would help clear out a large amount of space at once. But now I leave it there because that means when I run into it, it's more material that I can have on hand for an easier patch versus heading back up there to grab some dirt, because I do want to leave my inventory relatively free so that I can pick up all the spoilage. Of course, it does still mean that half the time I do have to make patches up with cobblestone, though preferably any of the funkier stone types like diorite or gravel. Not gravel, granite. Or that other one, what's the name? Andesite. But hey, it is what it is. this is this, and that is that. Oh, and for those of you who are curious about how the last video did, well, originally I was going to wait until the last recording session to say this, aka the recording session where I will be exploring out and about, but I just checked the stats before I started recording today, and the numbers made me so giddy that I decided to do it today. We have reached over 200 views on the last video, which is a minor miracle when it comes to how things have been going on this channel, and one that I am very thankful for, but not as thankful as I am to announce that we have reached 228 subscribers again. I can't remember when we first reached this number, but over time we were originally at that number, but we lost a few subscribers. I think we got down to 224, which is what I announced before, but we're back up to the top, and that means we are climbing even higher. So, if you haven't already, maybe take this opportunity to subscribe. But, again, as always, no pressure. If you're content to simply watch, then that is your place to do so, and I am happy that you've decided your place, at least for this brief moment in time, is watching my video. Know that even though it's only a view, it still helps me greatly. So, thank you, just for sticking around. Alright, now let's get on with things. Oop, fell down a hole. Times are rough, buds. But it's important to remember that you are tougher than rough times, even if it doesn't feel like it. Heck, perhaps especially when it doesn't feel like it. Things might get worse before they get better. But things will get better as long as you're around to see it. Keep that in mind for the days ahead. Savor the small victories and work towards bigger achievements. And more than anything else, take care of yourselves. The act of creation always reflects the times they were created in. Huh? Yeah, I suppose they must. Huh. So the water ravine and this ravine were actually pretty close after all. Good thing they didn't meet. I bet you a big majority of the noises I hear, and unfortunately the Endermen that spawn, happen behind this wall. And I am gonna put off exploring it for as long as I possibly can. And in case you're wondering, the reason why I don't like going caving, so to speak, is because I have a very poor sense of direction and very frequently get lost. At some point, it's easier just to dig my way up and try to find my original entrance come the surface or wherever I wind up entering the cave than it is trying to retrace my steps and find the actual way out. It's just a hassle all around, even with the increased resource yield. Gee, I wonder what could possibly be on the other side of this wall. Which is a shame, because I think I heard a wandering trader on the other side of that wall. Now that took hardly any time at all. And we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks away from the center. Moving on. I think the thing that I'm most excited for about getting to the middle is finally being able to establish a proper torch pattern. I mean, sure, the sides of the pyramids will still be irregular at best, with holes like that and pits like that. But as long as I have a proper reference to draw from, aka from the middle here, it should still be relatively simple to figure out a decent pattern, even if I just end up copying the one from up top. Yeah, it's time to get rid of this thing. String, bucket, pumpkin seeds, melon seeds. Boy, that would have saved me a lot of hassle had I discovered this. Would have allowed me to make my golem friends a lot faster. I am also realizing that I could have established a proper torch pattern back when this whole area was flat, and then simply replace torches as I dug my way down. Oh well, far too late to go back and do that, and way too late to regret it. And would you look at that? That is 1, 2, 3, 4 away from the center. Not much longer at all. Couple more clicks for luck. Let's get to it. If I'm not mistaken, this is where I first gathered the snow for Bon and Dawn. Boy, that was a while ago. No, that is an ocean monument. I recognize that arm over there. Game froze up a bit. I didn't think they could spawn in cold biomes. I'm sorry to see that I'm mistaken. Now, what happened to that poor ship? There it is. There it is. Feathers, paper, coast trims, and another glitched map. It says buried treasure map, but it has the texture of an empty map, and if I put it in my hand, yep, it's a mislabeled empty map. So, no buried treasure for me. Not this time. That's 2 edges of the map filled, and I'll be honest, I don't think I'm going to find a desert on this video either. Call it a hunch. The trickiest part of filling out these maps is definitely the corners, because at this resolution, it's hard to tell if any particular pixel is uncovered map or just weird terrain, especially as you can see that some of the grass blocks are rather similar in color to uncovered map. That, and a good portion of the time, the uncovered pixels are really being stubborn about being covered. And it seems like they know when it would be the most inconvenient time to be tricky to uncover, because I swear when I get to the edges of these maps, that's when they take practically being right on top of in order to clear out. Also around ocean monuments. Oh hey, another shipwreck over there. Another glitched buried treasure map. So that's 2 of them now. At least I have confirmed that they do in fact stack if you have more than one. And I found my way back home. Yeah, We haven't found much, but honestly, while I'm here, I might as well take the opportunity to dump off what little we did end up collecting. Alright, should be all set. Let's get going once more. Another glitched buried treasure map. What is with these? Oh, have I looted this shipwreck before? If I had to guess the story of this shipwreck, it sunk and then the ice froze under it and lifted it up here. Sure, that makes about as much sense as anything else. Books, always appreciated. More papers. Another glitched buried treasure map. Are they all glitched? Were all of the buried treasure maps that spawned around my home doomed to be glitched? Oh hey, ruined portal. Pillager outpost. Another pillager outpost? Oh hey, another lopsided shipwreck. Ooh, hey, diamond. Very nice. And there's the other one. Another glitched buried treasure map? Okay, I'm not sure why, but it seems that all of the buried treasure maps are close to home are glitched. Why? I couldn't even begin to tell you, but they are. Oh hey, shipwreck. Okay, I was worried that it would have been buried in rock, and it kind of was, but after breaking some wood and gravel, I managed to find the chest. Another glitched treasure map. I swear, what is with these things? Oh hey, another ruined portal. One last thought, and there we go. And that's the home base complete. Now just time to head home. That way. That way. Huh. If that weird splotch of pale on the near the top right corner is my home base, then it actually makes more of an impression than I first imagined. That said, let's head home. Don't need the map anymore, so put it away. Still, I can't believe we didn't find any buried treasure. And only because we didn't find any valid buried treasure maps. Heck, I don't think we found a single empty map. All we got were the glitched buried treasure map, which are empty maps. Still so strange. I didn't see those at all until either the last video or the video before that, and now they're the only kinds of maps that show up. And there is home. I'm actually surprised I ran into it from this angle. Like, it feels like I should have run into it from that side, since that's the side I came from the other times that I ran into my place. But I guess I started way further south than I thought I was. Well, not that it matters. I'm home now. Alright, we're just gonna take some time to put everything away, and then we're gonna do some more digging. Gotta end the video on a high note, after all. Alright, all set. Let's do this. I see that this ravine is going to become an increasingly big problem as we get lower and lower. Well, alright then. I feel like I should remind everyone, including myself, that we have been dealing with this ravine since we first started clearing out the land for this building project of mine. It is, in essence, our first true obstacle, a boss fight, if you will. I have been dealing with this sucker more or less the entire time I've been doing these videos, in fact. And to win, I need to bring the top of this pyramid to the bottom of this ravine. At that point, it will have been considered obliterated, and there will be no more ravine, just the hole that I'm digging out for the structure, and then eventually the structure itself. The problem is that, as you can guess from the size of the pyramid, even though it isn't quite reached the center yet, is still quite large. So it is entirely likely that I will dig into a new cave system entirely as I dig out these bottom edges before I get anywhere close to reaching the bottom of this ravine from the top of the pyramid. So that'll be fun when we run into that later. I've just finished putting everything away, and I have gone ahead and made a new set of tools, but I will admit I did over-record on some of the previous sessions, so considering we're nowhere near reaching the bottom and starting a new layer on top, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it here. So, Bert, Kurt, Bon, Don, Dilly, Dally. Things will be okay. All we need to do is last. Take it easy, everyone. See you next time.